Hi, SH1 social students. I have checked all of your homework, and based on that things, today I determined to discuss again about how to analyze a trigonometric function graph or curve. In our discussion before, I already teach you on how to draw trigonometric graphs, but right now I will explain you the opposite of it about how to find the trigonometric function from any graphs. The main things you have to know is for characteristics of each mathematics operation in trigonometric functions. Depends on the subjects in which this operation work, we can split it into two. First, operation which work on a whole trigonometric function. And the second one is the operations which work only at the angle. You must understand this part really well. Let's talk about two operations which work on a whole trigonometric function first. Number one, multiplication or division. This operation will change the amplitude of the trigonometric function. Basically, trigonometric function like sine or cosine will have 1 as maximum value and minus 1 as their minimum. But if you multiply this trigonometric function, the range will increase. The changes will depend on the constant that you use. If you multiply it by 2, the maximum will equal 2 as the minimum is minus 2. If you multiply it by 5, the maximum gonna be 5 and the minimum is minus 5. Or if you divide it by 3, the maximum value will be 1 over 3 while the minimum value is minus 1 over 3. As simple as that. You know the constants, you can find the amplitude. On the other hand, if you can find the amplitude, you know the constants. That's all. Number 2, addition or subtraction. This operation will shift the trigonometric graph parallel to y-axis. If you add by 1, then a whole graph will shift upward by 1 unit. If you subtract it by 7, that means your graph will shift downward by 7 units. If you try to find the function of any graphs, do not pay attention to its maximum or minimum value, since we usually do not know the amplitude yet. However, you must pay attention to its middle part here. Since basic trigonometric functions like sine, cosine, and tangent have their middle part at 0, so you will directly know the amount of addition or subtraction when you find the position of middle part. So right now, let's try to solve a question. I will show a graph and I will give you around 30 seconds to predict the function of the graph. At the end of the part, we'll discuss it together. So, here you go. Okay, thumbs up. Let's start to discuss it. First step, you have to determine what kind of function it is. Since it starts from maximum value, we can guess that it must be a cosine function. And then, right now, look at the position of the middle part. You can find out that it lays down in minus 2. So the cosine function must be subtracted by 2. And then, after that, pay attention to the amplitude. The amplitude itself is the distance between the middle part and maximum or minimum value. If you look there, the maximum value is 2. So the distance is 2 subtracted by minus 2 equal 4. So the cosine is multiplied by 4. Right now we need to combine them up. The first, you have a cosine function and then it's multiplied by 4 and then it is subtracted by 2 also. And here is your final answer. Right now we continue to the last two math operations which work at the angle of trigonometric function only. Number 1, multiplication and division. This operation will change the period of the function. The period itself is the distance required for the function to complete one full cycle, which is equal to 2 pi. So you can find a period with solving an equation from the angle equal to pi. On the other hand, if you know the period, you can compose the equation of the angle. I know it's a little bit hard, so right now I will give you an example directly. If you find a function y equals sine 3x, the equation of the period will be 3x equal 2 pi. If we solve it, then we get x equal 2 pi over 3. 2 pi over 3 is the period. So in this case, the trigonometric function will complete a cycle in 2 pi over 3 radian or 120 degrees. If we do it in a precise way, you are given by any unknown function, then you have to figure out the period. For example, if you find out that the period of a sine function is 540 degrees, try to change it into radian first. It equals 3 pi. The equation will be x equal 3 pi. So your duty right now is try to make the right hand side become 2 pi. So I can rewrite the function become x equal 2 pi times 3 over 2. We move 3 over 2 into the left hand side and we get 2 over 3x equal to pi. And there you are. The function of the graph is y equals sine 2 over 3x. The last one, addition or subtraction at the angle. In this part, the first thing I would like you to know is the difference between the addition and subtraction in a whole trigonometric function and the one only at the angle. The difference between them is the parenthesis. If we add or subtract something at the angle only, it will be placed inside a parenthesis. Without them, we can assume that the operation is for a whole trigonometric function. While for the impact, this operation will shift whole of trigonometric graph parallel to x-axis. Addition will make the graph shift to the left, while subtraction will make the graph shift to the right. In this case, sometimes sine and cosine function can be looked very similar, so you have to really understand the relation between them. We find a graph looks like sine function and it's shifted 30 degrees to the right, so we can say that the function must be sine x minus 30 degrees. Or since we know that sine x equal cosine x minus 90 degrees, we'll get cosine x minus 30 minus 90 degrees. It's cosine x minus 120 degrees. There are always two possible answers in the form of sine and cosine. Okay, that's all right now, and we will continue to the last question. Same as before, I will give you 30 seconds to think, but if you want to try it by yourself, you can pause this video. Okay, I will show you an unknown graph, and there you are. Okay, thumbs up. We'll start to discuss it. First, we need to determine the function. I will use sine function for this case. From the graph, we know that the distance when the function do a half cycle is 60 degrees. That means a full cycle will be done in 120 degrees by 60 times 2. We can compose the period equation with x equal 120 degrees. Change it into radian. X equal 2 pi over 3. We can move 3 to the left hand side and it becomes 3x equal 2 pi 3x, so the angle is multiplied by 3. Then from the graph, if we compare to sine function, it looks like it's shifted to the left for 50 degrees. So the angle is added by 50 degrees. Right now we can combine them up. We have sine function, the angle is multiplied by 3, then the angle is added by 50 degrees, and here is the right answer. Okay, that's all the materials for today, and I will give you the assignment by these videos. I will share some graphs here, and please determine the function, the trigonometric function of these graphs. Write down your answer in a piece of paper and make sure you write down every single step that you needed to get the result. And if you confused, you can browse by yourself at the internet, but make sure you try to find out by yourself to make you more confident when you face same problem. Okay, hope you enjoy this video, and you can ask me in the Google Classroom if you need any help. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.